I've just got back to the yard now with the Skyjack from easy to reach. So what we're going to try and do now is lift that up with a telehandler. Being four-wheel drive, it's coping with this 6F5 really nicely. Oh, this smells disgusting. Obviously, you've seen some of the previous episodes where we've been putting this steel frame up. Been waiting quite a few weeks now for these sheets to come. We're going with a composite insulated panel, try and keep it cool inside and stop, more importantly, stop condensation in the winter. So these have come as a special order because I wanted them to do one sheet. So we've got no join on the sheets, just one sheet will do from the apex down to the gutter line. I'm going to try and get these on over the next few days because I don't want these to get damaged in the yard. Excellent, so that went well. We've got the sheets unloaded. So we've got two different packs. There's a pack there and a pack there. So one's left hand, one's right hand, so that they'll match up nicely from eaves to the ridge, and we can lay them all from the same direction, so it'll make it much easier to lay. So if we had them all one-sided, then we'd have to start one side and then work backwards, and one side forward to back and one back to forward. So we'll work out which way they're going round. And we can start getting those roof sheets up. I don't want all these roof sheets lying around the yard. They're getting whacked with a tractor and trailer or something, so we'll hot foot it on, and so I think we'll just crack on and get those roof sheets up fairly pronto. So this is exciting. Just on the 6R185 with our Bailey low loader, just going down to pick up a replacement from a ladder, because we've got the roof sheets delivered, as you've seen, and I want to get on and get those sheets up, and it's going to be pretty tricky on my own trying to work out the man cage and ladders. So quite an exciting new purchase. Just going into Congleton to Back Lane Industrial Estate. Congleton Garden Machinery, Travis Perkins. We've come to see Jason at Easy to Reach. Told you he's going to get a new ladder. We've just loaded up now. So we've got this little Skyjack. It's cracking. So I think this goes up to about 9 metres or something like that. Perfectly big enough for what we want to do. And the deck, it's manual, I mean it's not hydraulic, but that slides out. So if you want to get up on top of a roof, rather than like clambering over the top, you can slide that whole deck out and it'll cantilever over the machine. So that's a much better option than we had on the old machine that we borrowed off a friend. It's got stabilising legs. She's an oldish girl, like, I know, 12 years old, something like that. But these things don't get a massively hard life. You know, there's not a lot of stress on them. You're lifting people up with a few tools, so they don't really get hammered. The worst thing that happens to them, really, seems to be just getting left outside because the paint goes a bit naff on it, but we can soon sort that out. So we're going to get this back now. We've got those roof sheets to go on. We'll try it out. We can lift the roof sheets up with the telehandler, get up on the roof safely, have that as a bit of a backstop, so if we slide off the roof, we can drop into the cage rather than drop into our peril. So looking forward to getting this back now on the 185. It's not really taxing the Bailey low loader. The nice thing is though, this is four-wheel drive. So we'll have a look when we unload it in a bit, but it's got like fast and slow controls and stuff like that, so you can go fast or slow with it, get more or less torque. Four-wheel drive, so it popped up the beaver tail up those ramps, no problem at all, so really handy. The one we used to borrow had two-wheel drive. I think one of the motors was pretty weak, so we had to push it on with a telehandler, like total nightmare. But if we wanted to move it on a bale trailer or something, we get a telehandler, we can just get the forks through there, just lift the bugger up and down, dead easy. So happy days. I'll get turned round, we'll get back to the yard, we'll give it a whirl, see if we can get some sheets up. I've just got back to the yard now with the Skyjack from Easy to Reach. So really excited about this. I said we have used one of these before and it was dead handy. Not having it at our disposal all the time means that you take more risks up and down ladders. We don't get any younger, we don't get any more agile. So I think investing in one of these is definitely the way forward. It's got to be a safer way of working. And if we've always got it, there's no excuses for not using it. Right, chains are off, so it's ready for lift off, or lift up, as the case may be. Starts on the button, first time dead easy. It's got little stabiliser legs, so you can either work it with or without them. If you work it without the stabiliser legs and then the machine senses it's on too much of a slope to carry on, then it'll stop anyway, and then it'll make you put the legs down. Or if you know that you're on a bit of a nasty angle, then you can put the self-leveling legs down, and that'll just sort of work itself out and sort itself out and get it level, and then up you go. So let's see whether it'll run over this hardcore. This is 4-wheel drive. So Jason assures me that this will be fine on this sort of unmade surfaces, you know, just stone MOT type surfaces. Should travel around quite happily. Obviously that's really important because at the stage of construction that you generally do in this sort of operation, you know, you've not got your concrete down yet, so it's got to be able to travel on these sort of surfaces. Wow, when you put it in the faster gear, she motors along quite quickly. Faster than I was anticipating. Speedy little thing, isn't it? I think we'll slow that down a bit. More sedate pace is nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's not troubling it at all. That's just... That's all right, isn't it? Bit of rough surface doesn't bother it. See how high we go. This is good, isn't it? It makes you stop and then warns people that the thing's going to come down maybe and clatter them. Oh, that is so handy. That's brilliant. Really, really pleased with that. So that's going to make the job much easier. Get all my tools on there, get up, take them bits of timber off. Then I can set it up along here, lift the sheets up with the telehandler onto the roof, out onto the top of the scissor lift, and I can go up the scissor lift there nicely, fasten the sheet to the bottom, then work my way up, and then I'll be safe with that below the sheet I'm working on, so I can't slip off to my peril. Brilliant. I think, I don't know, it depends on your mindset. You can hire all this sort of stuff, but in my mind, when you're hiring or relying on hiring this sort of kit around the farm, invariably, you haven't got it, you can't be bothered, you don't get it delivered, it all becomes a blag, so you find an alternative. The alternative is generally more dangerous than using the proper machine for the job. So I reckon that, as an investment, really could be life-saving or life-changing, because dropping from height is a mega problem. It's like, I know that I shouldn't be messing around on ladders as much as I do. I'm converted to these because I've already used them. I've just never purchased. I think if you have the resource to be able to invest in something like this, and you've got a fair lot of stuff going on around your farm that needs maintaining, restoring, repairing, building, whatever, it just seems, but I just don't think it shouldn't even become a consideration of whether you should invest in one or not, in my mind. Right, I've spun one of the sheets around onto a pallet. I've checked the pallet, there's no nails protruding. Don't want them scratching the sheets as I twist it around onto it. So what we're going to try and do now is lift that up with a telehandler. So my thoughts are, if I can come off the gable end, lift it up to the ridge, which is about there, have that horizontal just off the edge of the frame. If I can go up in the skyjack to the height of it, lift it off the pallet, slide it sideways, then try and lower it down onto the plane of the roof, and then get a couple of fixings in along the eave, stop the sheet sliding off. That'll get us about there. In the centre, I've got a batten just up here somewhere on the plane of the roof, screwed down. That's the centre line, so I can't send the sheet past the centre of the shed. Obviously, otherwise the next sheet's going to crash it. And also sort of work out here the overhang for the eaves detail for where gutters, side cladding and gutters go. So I've got the tape on there. I'm going to try and work all that out now on the first sheet. The first sheet will be slow, just trying to get a rhythm of how I can do it efficiently and effectively on my own with the two machines. And then after that, it should be a bit easier to just keep following through. Tricky thing is just getting the first sheet lined up square on the frame of the building so that each sheet then runs through true along the length of the building. These telehandlers have like a parallel lift, so if I just pull the handle up, it should maintain the angle of the forks, but I don't know about you guys. The perception out the cab, it always looks like it's going to fall off, so there's always the temptation to overcrowd backwards. The last thing I want to do is drop one of these sheets, because, well, one, it's dangerous, two, they're expensive, and three, there's about a 6-week lead time on more sheets. we had 2 people on this. Now, what we could do is I could go up there, hold it, they could pull the forklift telehandler out of the way. So this sort of like one man versus shed thing's not all it's cracked up to be. I don't know how I'm going to get this out of here now. Fortunately, just in the nick of time, Luke's turned up. Whew. I don't think it's bad at that. See, that cap just spins off them. See these little moulded caps? The little star drive that goes in the impact driver, it just, when the pressure, you know, bit of resistance against the wood, it starts to wind the plastic, just gives up, the round off, then you can't get it all the way in. Or sometimes the plastic head starts spinning within the thing itself. But to get these off, it's just like, if they don't want to come off and they're just round on the outside, you end up having to get a chisel to take them off. So when you want them to give up, they don't. And when you don't want them to give up, they do. The alternative is just a hex head and then a little cap that pops on. We tried that on the building down there, and all those little push-on caps, they all just ping off. Don't last 5 minutes. Not all of them, but like 20% of them come off, then it just looks a mess. It's a shame they haven't got these better moulded, better design, maybe deeper driver units on it, so they don't mold, so they don't spin off. I don't know, just not that well engineered. You should just be able to see here. So you see there, that's the problem cap. What we have to do is expose the hex head that's underneath it, which is obviously metal, thus the inappropriate use of a wood chisel, and why we have special wood chisel that is being downgraded to this task. To try and get the horrible bit of plastic, there we go. So we've got that bit off. Now I can go with the standard tech head driver. And we have 2 options. We either bang that home and think, who cares, it's not got colour on it. Or we waste that one, we try this one. Which has got him better. Not beautiful, but better. Cool. You can see why I don't want to be messing around with pen lid in my mouth. You can see why I don't be messing around with these sheets on a windy day though. Or a red hot sunny day. Sheets get dead hot in there, like a cat on a hot tin roof. But this overcast day with no winds is nice. Optimum conditions. Well, we've got the first roof sheet on, so that's a start. Getting started is the hardest part of the job, isn't it? So they look quite tidy. Look neat under there, won't it, when it's done? I know it's only 1 sheet. So tomorrow I'll get a helping hand. This going solo thing has its limits. We'll get Luke on the telehandler, me on the skyjack, and we'll do as much of this sheeting up as we can do. I've just, you can operate the lift from the floor as well. Just sent it up in the air, little self-leveling legs. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Definitely higher than the sheds we've got anyway. So the nice thing is if it can go that high, all safe and sound, then it's even more stable when we're only working at half that height, which will be most of the time, the maximum most of the time we ever use it. So yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? For scale, when I'm stood here 20 yards from it, it doesn't look very big, does it? But when I'm stood under here, it's pretty massive. I'm hoping Paul will be happy that I've made a positive step forward in self-preservation and working much safer than using ladders. So I'm sure he'll be chuffed. But if he's a little bit unsure about the purchase, I think I know what will convince him. Clay pigeon trap on the top of there. We could have some great fun. That's a bit cooler today. We've still got no wind, so that's really nice. Just going to finish putting up the shed roof. We're nearly there. Just got a couple of sheets to put on the end and then trim off the last bits to finish off. Paul's just going to bring the roof sheet up now for me. So what we're just having to do is Paul's just lifting it up over the top of the shed and drive down the side. Then just see in a minute I can get it up onto the skyjack and then just help the roof. I can get up on the skyjack then and help the sheet up onto the roof. Might need to just trim this branch off here in a minute, I think. Yeah. It's Not a proper tree surgery job, was it? We'll just trim these branches off, I think, in a moment. It's great, B4-wheel drive. The B4-wheel drive is coping with this 6F5 really nicely. It's not giving it any problems whatsoever moving around. Okay, down. We've just got to do the last sheets now. We've just got a cutting to do just to take us to the back of the shed. So we've got to rip down one of these. What I use, last time we did this, I bought one of these. You can get special blades. I say special, apparently they're special, for cutting these composite sheets that'll do like the thin tin and through the insulation and stuff. I think the reason why they're special is where the blade is. You can see there that tungsten carbide tip. It's got like a raker on top so that the blade can't dig in too much, because it's obviously can only just take a little tiny bit at a time, because that's probably going to stop it grabbing the sheet. I tried to get one of these special blades to fit my existing circular saw. Don't know what make it is, thinking Bosch or something. And the blades were like, I don't know, 60, 70 pounds, something ridiculous just for the blade. Struggling to get the right size blade for my handheld circular saw with the right centre and all that. Turned into a bit of a nightmare. It's actually cheaper. I bought this, Evolution. Not a brand I've really heard of. I think it was from one of the big tool sheds. It's actually quite heavy. It was fine on that. I'm not giving it any depth on some thick timber or anything, but doing the insulated sheets on the last shed, it was fine. And this was about half the price buying the whole lot with the blade in that'll do it than it was buying a blade to fit my other one. So we got to put another saw, and we just use that for this job. It's pretty awful. So as we slice down this now, I'm not just wearing a little bit of safety specs. It's got like, you know, put my full big goggles on. I might put my hood up as well. You do get a little bit of swarf and kerf and metal shards coming out here a little bit. And this can sort of like stick in as it goes. So I've got my hoodie on and my jeans. Could probably do something a bit thicker as well, really, but that's kind of where we're at. So the best thing to do if you're doing this sort of thing, either this or wire brushes on an angle grinder. They're awful, aren't they? When you're and all the bits of wire come off and stick in your clothes. Don't want to do these before you go on holiday. Like going through the airport, you've probably got little bits, you go dee 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 as you go through the thing, because you do get a few shards. So be really careful. Put loads of safety protection on when you try to cut these metal sheets. That is truly awful. There's quite a lot of little shards of metal coming out and dust off the insulation. That's got to be pretty toxic, horrible stuff. I think we'll stick one of these on as well. Oh, this smells disgusting. Kind of reminds me of COVID. Yeah, that's pretty horrible. All this insulation dust, little bits of metal filings. Yeah, definitely don't do this the day before you go on holiday. You will set off the metal detectors at the airport, I'm sure. Makes a lovely clean cut, beautiful clean cut on both sides. See there, both top surface and bottom. Really nice clean cut. So we've got those trimmed now to what we want. Paul's going to brush them off. I'm just going to wash my hands and then we'll get these up on the roof.